All right. Why I sold my Steam Deck OLED for the Nintendo Switch 2. Let me just refresh this.
I know this video is going to come off.
Oof.
Hey Alex, answer me this, is Reforge's member goal 500 members a week or is it 500 members a day? Trying to do some math.
It's a week. So he's already getting hit in the comments section. Thank you for the dollar, zombie. Oh no. Look at this guy. This might be Tuesday's video then.
Weird overall. I know this video is going to come off kind of weird overall. I don't usually make videos like this because if I sell something, I'm just like, whatever, I sell it. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. People don't care. I don't care. It is what it is. People can buy and sell whatever they want when it comes to anything legal, at least when it comes down to it.
What? Why would you even say that?
When it comes to video games, get what you want, play what you want, whatever it is. But I think that with the Nintendo Switch 2 coming out, now that we got
a Nintendo ambassador, don't trust.
Oh, he's one of those. He's one of those.
The big reveal, and we got the treehouse stuff and the games, and we're starting to see what's going on. I've had this Steam Deck OLED.
He's got a script. You can see the script. Look. You can see the script right there.
I've had this Steam
Look, you can see
Deck.
You can see the writing.
OLED.
There's a script. I can see it right there.
Expose, 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 expose.
Nose so big he can smell color.
You're exposed.
Jesus, B-Soms.
For I think a year now or so, and I've probably put about 20 hours or less into it. And I've talked about it before in my life.
You had a Steam Deck OLED for a year.
I had to take a break from socials for a while.
Hey, Steven.
But God, did I miss you.
I miss you too.
Nice to be back.
I'm glad
to see nothing changed on my favorite corner of the net.
Won't change for a while. Won't change for a while. Thank you, Steven. I'm glad you're back, bro. Or Stefan, I'm sorry.
Who is this? Temu Eric July. WTF Alex.
Thank you, Bashi, for the 2. Yeah, the Nintendo Ninjas got him.
The articles on Twitter.
Thank you, Big Migs. I appreciate that.
Live streams, how I don't really use.
So, okay, so you bought a Steam Deck OLED. Steam Deck OLEDs can be, what, $500 to $600? And you said you put 20 hours into it?
Less into it. And I've talked about it before on my live streams, how I don't really use it, and I think it's a fine device. Like, if you like...
Why would you spend that amount of money on a device you weren't going to use? If you're not a PC gamer, or you're not trying to get into PC gaming, then why would you spend that amount of money on this device? Are you the same kind of guy that just buys a 4080 or a 4090 just to buy that device? Status? Yeah, I've seen that. And then why sell it for a Switch 2? Yeah,
Player
exactly.
S is very big fanboy and hated Steam Deck.
Oh, Eripa, we got to see some more of that then.
Steam Deck, if you think it's great, it's cool, man. Like, I'm down with it. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff with it, and I think that it's awesome. But after seeing the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct and seeing what games are going to be coming, and seeing the fact that you can get a high quality in terms of the screen and the resolution, and
it's all upscaled with DLSS. You have FSR on the Steam Deck. You're going from 800p to 1080p. You're not getting native 4K. You're not even getting native 1080p. You're probably getting an 800p resolution image natively and then upscaled to 1080p or 720p to 1080p on the screen. with DLSS. And you got an OLED screen on the Steam Deck. So you actually have a better quality image on the Steam Deck than you do on the Switch 2.
And the dock and how everything works and how my frustrations with the Nintendo Switch are kind of alleviated. Like with the Nintendo Switch 2, they fixed so many things that
They did fix a lot.
I had an issue with over the base system. The Steam Deck for me was kind of like, okay, well, what if it doesn't go so well with the Nintendo Switch 2? Or what if there's something to where there's a problem or whatever? I should probably...
Why would you buy it in the first place then if you never wanted to buy it? If you never wanted to buy a Switch, I'm sorry, a Steam Deck, why would you buy a Steam Deck? If your concept was, well, if the Switch 2 is bad, I'll just buy a Steam Deck. So why'd you buy it in the first place? Why'd you spend the money?
We hold on to this system until then, but now after the presentation and some of the hands-on have came out, there's really no need for me to keep the Steam Deck at all. And I've definitely...
So you put 20 hours into the Steam Deck. You said you don't really use it. You don't really like it. You think it's a fine device. So why'd you buy it?
Definitely already sold it, so I felt that this was the last opportunity if I was going to talk about this, because I never talk about it in videos normally, but if I was going to talk about it and do this video, it'd be not at this point before I have to actually ship the Steam Deck out to someone that bought the Steam Deck. So I wanted to talk about it because I did pay the full price for it. It was brand new when I bought it. And I thought it was going to be something to where I put a lot of time into and stuff that really can't run on Switch. I'm going to be like, okay, cool, I can play it on here, portable.
So if
Isn't
you're not
this the same guy who had beef with the Pillsbury Doughboy RTU back in the day? The guy looks really familiar.
Is that true, Jay? Is that true, Jay? Keemstar 2.0, he's doing a great job. Oh, guys, stop. What was that?
Vibe sounds like a cracker dipped in chocolate.
What was that? What was that, dude?
But it ended up being a device that I ultimately started tinkering with all the time. Like anytime that I tried to play it, you gotta tinker with the settings, you gotta look online and see what are the optimal settings, you gotta download
Bro, you just put it to low.
updates almost all the time, which
Are we doing the download updates all the time now? As if every game doesn't get updated all the time already?
updates are a part of everything. Like, it's fine, and once again, it's not hating on the Steam Deck. I think it's a great device for those who want it, or if you're going to buy a Steam Deck now because you're not interested in the Nintendo Switch 2. That's also cool. I have no problem with that. Enjoy, have fun. But for me, the constant tinkering, the constant updates, the constant bloating of all these different features and
Alex
options
Chad,
and
I'm broken. Ah!
Thank you, Aggie, for fixing it. What tinkering? The only tinkering you would have to do is if you wanted to, like, do emulation or, like, to physically tinker with it in the first place. This is a literal, like, I don't PC game.
things, and just the constant, will it play or not, or how does it play, or is it optimized or not, or...
Oh, no. I think this is where Valve fucked up the most. This is, in my opinion, is where Valve has had the worst fucking communication and setup ever.
As someone who uses a Steam Deck every day, he's full of crap.
Yeah, I use it every day too. No, but the problem is, Seth, the checks don't mean shit. Because Proton DB is a much better indicator of whether the game's going to work or not.
Alex, can you tinker with my butthole?
Yes, B Psalms, thank you.
Here's great on deck, here's not, here's unsupported. My Power World doesn't even work at all. Like, it's never worked. People tell me Power World works on Steam Deck. It's never worked on my Steam Deck. I'm looking.
Bro, I guarantee you. Bro. Power World on ProtonDB is rated gold. Deck verified status, playable. No issues, including multiplayer. Flawless. Out of the box, no tinkering. Out of the box, flawless. Playable. Out of the box. Works well. Memory leaks. Everybody gets that now. Out of the box. Hotfix did the job. Works fine. Smoothly. Out of the box. 120 FPS high settings. Here we go. Switch to experimental. That fixed it. Ta-da. Like, what are we fucking doing here, bro?
Up stuff. These are the type of things that have just drove me nuts, especially when I go out and I'm like, okay, let me take my Steam Deck with me out portable, but there's some type of update, or there's some type of thing, or there's some type of something that happens with it, and it costs them.
What? What update? You're just making shit up. You're just making shit up.
Happens. I mean, it is a massive device, and the Nintendo Switch 2 is also a big device, but still, I think the Nintendo Switch 2 is smaller than my Steam Deck OLED, and anytime that I played something, it always...
What does the size have to do with anything?
It seemed like there was some type of really small text that you have to fix, or some type of compatibility thing, but...
What?
Yeah, a lot of games work, and it's cool, and if you can get things going, it's awesome in that sense. And I'm, once again, 100% on board with anybody that wants to play it. But I do think that there is a correlation between the people online that sit there and say it's like the greatest thing, and it actually not actually selling like it's the greatest thing. Now, of course,
Can I run that back?
What's the Switch emulator that you use called again?
Sudachi. Sudachi. Okay. I gotta hear this again. We're back to selling? Yeah, apparently. Here we go.
you can get things going. It's
God damn it, B-Soms.
awesome in that sense. And I'm, once again, 100% on board with anybody that wants to play it. But I do think that there is a correlation between the people online that sit there and say it's like the greatest thing, and it actually not actually selling like it's the greatest thing. Now, of course...
So now we're back to selling. So because it didn't sell as much as the Switch, it's not, he never used it. He never fucking used it. He never, hive mindset. Yes. So now we're talking about how many sales. This may be Tuesday's video.
There are times when something can be really good and it doesn't do well, but I don't think that's the case. I think people just don't want it overall. And I felt that it'd be something for me. Maybe, yes, it's a niche type of product, but I really get into it. But it ended up just becoming just a hassle and a headache overall. And I just didn't feel like dealing with all the different type of stuff that you have to do with
Fab, I saw him
Steam.
on
Now,
90 Days Fiance. Great show.
Yeah, thanks, Dreamcast. What things?
the OS is awesome. Obviously, having your PC games is great. And like I said, if you can tweak it and get it to work with what you're doing, it works well with indie games and other things. Like, it's awesome. Like, there's so many good
It literally runs Elden Ring, bro. What are we talking about?
things, but you can clearly tell that it's not a dedicated device. I mean, on top of that, no physical games, which that's something that I know physical games are dying out as people say.
It's your Steam library. What are you talking about,
I bought
dude?
for $20 a little hub device, and connected my Steam Deck to my TV, and now, last week, a friend of mine and me, we played MH Rise together locally. Him on my Steam Deck connected to the TV and me on my PC. It was awesome.
That's right,
Smiley
Zan.
face emoji.
That's right, Zan. Exactly,
Hey,
bro.
yo, can I have it since you don't want it?
Yeah, for real, right? What is he talking about here?
Not a dedicated device. I mean, on top of that, no physical games, which
It's not a dedicated device. And on top of that, no physical games. No, Chiefin, it's not the same. A dedicated device, and it's not the same. And no physical games, I'm sorry. It's a Steam Deck. It's made by Valve. You have more ownership in Steam than you do today with physical cartridges. And what do you mean by dedicated? Because it has a desktop mode? So it's not dedicated? You're given less. Okay. This is the console warrior. Okay.
that's something that I know physical games are dying out, as people say, but still, I would like to have the option to at least try to have physical games, you know? And
where are you going to put it, broski? Where are we going to put it, buddy?
there's no physical games, obviously it's all PC, but on top of that, when
Obviously.
it comes to the games and everything, you just have no idea when it comes to how it's going to run. Like, you just have no idea. There's times when I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be good, it's fine, plays great, and then it's like, no, I got to change this in the settings. And there are also times, like with Persona 3, I think that's really what frustrated
A settings menu is giving you a hard time?
me. With Persona 3 Reload, anytime that I played it on my Steam Deck, I was like, great, Persona 3 Reload, Steam Deck.
I was getting 60 FPS plus in that game. There's no way you're having an issue with this game.
I tweaked around with the settings and all that, got it going.
You shouldn't have had to tweak any settings. You get a 60 FPS lock in that game.
But then when I transferred it back to my PC to play it on the PC, obviously I got a much better graphics card, 30 series plus at the time, and it would have the old settings. Or if I went from my PC to my Steam Deck, it would have the settings for my PC and it would slow it down and I have to go in there every single time.
So you just change the setting.
When do I get my clan member Yellow Hood?
Yeah, thank you, Dreamcast Bull. You can connect the controller to Steam Deck. Yes, you can. He didn't play on the Steam Deck. He bought it for no reason. Was collecting dust, probably. He's looking for a reason to hate it. Yeah, you can hook up an external DVD reader and play physical games via Lutris on it. Yeah, you can. Yeah, Nix, you can. I think it had ray tracing, Nick. I gotta change settings so hard, yeah.
And yes, it plays great on there if you get the settings going and, you know, great on deck and all
Just put default, bro.
that. Atlas is
Literally, there's options menus. You just put it to the same setting, or just play it on the deck and just. How is an options menu this hard?
been pretty good with that, but it got to be a hassle. And even when I tried to hook it up to my TV through a dock, and yes, I know that there's an official one or there's ones that work better, but the dock that everyone told me was good that I researched online ended up not being good. There was compatibility issues. I have an LG CX OLED. I don't know if that's not supported with the dock that I have.
What? It's HDMI out. What compatibility issue? It's USB-C to HDMI out. It either goes or it doesn't. Yeah, now he's just trolling.
And I had other people try to tell me, no, you have to use this dock. And I know there's an official one, but I couldn't get it at the time. And they said you can.
It's just a USB to. Bro, this works. This literally works. That's what this is. USB-C to HDMI out. It's $9. It was $9. And this is what I use. There's no compatibility issue. It is handshake. You're done. It was $9 on Amazon. I don't even know what it's called. Here Cool. It's called Here Cool. I don't know. What are we talking about?
Use any dock. It's just like so many headaches with this thing to where it wouldn't display properly on my TV, and it was weird even when I tried to get it to work, when I'm trying to tinker around with it with the HDMI and stuff. It's not instant like the Nintendo Switch 1, and
he's gonna lose his mind when he realizes the Nintendo Switch 1 is the exact same thing. It's USB-C to HDMI out. It's the same. It's the same. Except that dock is $100. It's the same one.
there was just so many times when I just said it's just not worth all of it. So I decided, hey, look, I'm gonna sell it. But I wasn't so sure. Like I said, before the Nintendo Switch, this Nintendo Direct, I was not so sure
oh my god, I might have to do this video.
if it was something that I felt that I needed to do. That's why I held on to it for so long. I've had it for a year plus now, you know, and I haven't really put too much time into it.
So you didn't like the device. You didn't use the device. You said it was a hassle to use. I can't. There's no way. And then instead of being like, I don't like PC gaming, what
Wait
you
until
said
he
was,
realizes Nintendo is going to sell him a $90 physical copy that is nothing more than a key to download the game. Smiley face emoji.
Yep, exactly. 100% exactly.
He's lying his ass off. Most games run well on the Steam Deck.
Yep.
Hell, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth runs like smooth butter on the device.
Yep, it does. Rudard, thank you.
I handshake Doc all the time, no problem. Honestly, I completely understand where he is coming from. Been gaming on PC for 17 years and it becomes annoying to always be messing with settings.
Yeah, but Demon, you can just click default and it'll just do it. That's the crazy. You just click default and go. It's not like it was back then. I walked into that one. Yeah, I know.
So, me and Alex are Docker boys.
Thank you, Razor.
But I wanted to see what they have. And now that we got the confirmed specs, apparently the Nintendo Switch 2 is 10 times stronger than the Nintendo Switch 1, according to NVIDIA. And it's got ray tracing.
Yeah, my cell phone's 10 times stronger than the Switch 1.
And it's got tensor cores, and it's got DLSS, and it's got all these nice features, and it's going to be seamless. And the games are built for it. And I think, to me, that's the...
The games are built for it. Here we go again. Here we go again with this bullshit. These motherfuckers really think. They really think there is a difference now. It's a literal NVIDIA APU, bro. Bro, I'm fucking losing it. These fucking guys really think it's some fucking magical bullshit.
Best thing about it, it's not just a portable PC that somehow plays games on there and you got to check to see.
What do you
it's
mean
actually
somehow?
A game device system with the games built, coded to the metal, coded and built for.
Coded to the metal. Coded to the metal, bro. Coded to the metal.
This guy has never had to fight with Corn32 to play Super Mario 64. Dude, I can play good old PS2 games. I am playing right now Raider Kazunoa from the PS2 and I'm so freaking happy, because I wanted to have a PS2 portable console since I was 18.
Thank you for the $500, Zan. Yeah, exactly. To the metal. Coded to the metal. I just can't, dude. It's not, Sean. It's not.
Like you should believe NVIDIA 5070 equals 4090.
Exactly, VR Gamer. Exactly.
For each one, not optimized for it or whatever the case is, but actually built for it. When they're releasing that game, you know it's going to be built for it. And yeah, there might be some performance stuff that's not quite as good on Steam Deck or a ROG Ally or one of these other devices, but you know it's built for that device. If they're doing good with the port of the game, it's going to be awesome on there. And
bro, that's not how that works.
Based off of what we've seen so far from the Nintendo Direct, yeah, I think it's going to be awesome.
I have 2 Switches and Xeno 2 and Bio 3 runs. Butter emoji on PC.
That's right. I don't, bro, what is he saying?
But actually built for it. When they're releasing that game, you know it's going to be built for it. And yeah, there might be some performance stuff that's not quite as good on Steam Deck or a ROG Ally or one of these other devices, but you know it's built for that device. If they're doing good with the port of the game, it's going to be awesome on there. And based off...
That's how every device is. If they do good with the port of the game, then it's going to be good. That doesn't mean it's built for it. That just means the port's good. What? That's how all games work. Yes. He doesn't need to switch to justify buying it. Yeah, true.
From what we've seen so far from the Nintendo Direct, yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. Like, yes, you're not going to get the same frames as like a PS5 Pro, which, you know, that's fine. I have a PS5 Pro. It's cool. You know, my PS.
Why do you have a PS5 Pro? What? Why do you have a PS5 Pro?
Wish you streamed the Direct. It was cringe.
Oh, I would have lost my mind when they were charging for the welcome game.
PS5, my regular one broke, so I have a PS5 Pro, or at least
your regular one broke. No. I call it. I'm calling it.
Fucking bullshit! Fucking bullshit! Fucking bullshit! Fucking bullshit!
I'm calling it. There's no way.
Fucking bullshit! Fucking bullshit! Son of a bitch! Bullshit, don't go again.
Bro, stay off PC. PC's closed.
Didn't break, but the HDMI wouldn't let me capture footage like I needed to for.
Oh!
Downporting PS5 and XBSX games to the Switch 2 doesn't put Switch 2 games on the same level.
The HDMI didn't capture the footage like I needed it to. So it didn't break.
for Assassin's Creed Shadows and for Atelier and other games. But when it comes to like a portable device or a hybrid device where you want to be able to take it anywhere and play, in addition to docking it and having it be instant and just come right up, the Steam Deck just wasn't that.
The Steam Deck literally does that.
Wasn't good enough at all. So I finally decided after a year plus or so to just
of not using it,
get rid of it. And like I stated before, this was the only opportunity really that I was going to have before I got rid of it. So I can say, hey, look, my Steam Deck was right here at least, right? I guess I can talk about it and not have it, but it was really the last opportunity.
You shouldn't talk about this at all. Shouldn't have said anything. Shouldn't even make the video.
For me to do this. And once again, it's just a video that I felt, hey, look, maybe some of you guys would want my opinion on how I feel about it, considering I have stated that I have a Steam Deck, like if you watch my live streams, but I haven't really said my overall opinion on it. After using it and kind of seeing what it's about, I think that there's some really cool features, but I'm not in love with the trackpads though. I think that it makes the system just much bigger and it doesn't need.
As of today, I will now put a 76% tariff on all Nintendo products that come into America just because of this video. On top of that, every Funko Pop will be taxed into oblivion. That's Dreamcast, guys, friend, you're watching.
He didn't like the trackpads, even though it gives you direct mouse control for PC games. So he never fucking played the device or any game that didn't have controller support.
To be, if it's a handheld system, you don't need to be having trackpads, and I think that's one thing that's just like too much PC.
Oh my god, dude.
Expose, 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 expose. You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Expose, 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 expose. You are exposed, sir. I'm gonna expose you. Expose you. Oh my god, expose you. Expose, 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 expose. It's time for some exposure.
He has no idea what he bought or why he bought it. He just bought it to buy it.
PC stuff in there overall. Switch 2 has mouse mode, but it's done so nice. It actually clicks off with the Joy-Con, so it turns into one. So it's just so much more intuitive with a lot of the features and things. And these trackpads just make it look gigantic overall. So it's a great device. Like I said, it's a great device. It works well. It can do a lot of things. It's got the emulation.
You said it doesn't work well. You said you have to tinker. Now it's a great device that works well? Which one is it?
Stuff down. It's got a lot of the indie stuff down. It's got obviously big games you can play it on there. Some developers.
What?
Why do you think it's off and not showing the dashboard? He never used it.
Probably, yeah. What?
The trackpads are so much more than just mouse. They really can unlock the system to play PC-centric games.
That's the whole
like
point,
RA2.
gamer. Yeah, true.
Have some optimizations, but there's too much tinkering. There's too much messing with things. There's just too much nonsense for my liking. And with Switch 2 and what they showed off,
nonsense,
and the capabilities of it, the
Don't
DLSS,
worry, Alex. My blood pressure is raising. WU.
Nonsense.
And everything and what they're going to do with the games, and I think this is probably the biggest thing that I love about Nintendo, at least, or even just consoles. They're going to make games and have events and presentations that get you excited, that get you hyped, that show off the games. It's like PC, it seems like such a muted platform, or at least Steam Deck. There's nothing really built exclusively for it. It's just like, oh, it's a PC game, then see if it can play on there, right?
It'll just play on there.
Where does Alex start? Where does the himbo end?
I don't know. I don't know. This has to be Tuesday's video.
How much
Jack.
you wanna bet he got to play his PS5 games while he was waiting to get his hands on a Pro?
Probably.
It's not like it's built for the device. So to me, I know that's like, maybe it's not that big of a deal for some of you guys. That's just what people like. But for me,
He's going to lose his mind when he finds out that all games are made on a PC.
I like to have that atmosphere overall of a developer, or more like a publisher, that builds games, these experiences that are exclusive for the device. And
So you just want to feel special. The atmosphere. Shit that's not real.
really are optimized and target and say, hey, it's built for this. Steam Deck doesn't really have that. It has stuff that's
but they're not optimized or targeted built for the Switch. That's not how that works. That's not how any of that works.
optimized afterwards, which is great and can be almost like that, but Valve does nothing overall when it comes to like, hey, a regular flow of games. Like, let's say if there was like another Left 4 Dead, right, or another.
No. Has he never met Valve before? Has he never met Valve before and how Valve makes games? They don't. But I mean, they literally just fucking put out a new game recently, so you're gonna have an aneurysm? True.
Half-Life, or if they continue some of their actual stuff like Portal and certain games that they've done before, like they don't even do that, and it's just not as exciting. When with the Nintendo Switch 2, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get those Nintendo Directs. You're gonna get those games built specifically and fine-tuned for the system. So just kind of like overall, guys, just.
But they're not. I have to think about this one. That was me. This one fine-tuned.
Just to make sure that I'm very clear on this, the Steam Deck isn't bad. Like, it's not a bad device for people.
What you want is a Steam Deck to not be a PC. You want it to be a console.
If it doesn't work or unto your liking, you can always refund the game, unlike Nintendo.
True, Alex. Cheers.
Little known fact, Valve are always working on game, most of them just don't make the cut.
Yep, true.
He could have just summed his whole argument up to the Steam Deck is not as convenient as a console and just moved on.
Not only that, he could have just said, I just want to play on my Switch. And not even made the video.
People that want to tinker with things, for people that want to do the emulation stuff, for people that want to kind of mess around and have a lot of different apps.
So the Switch literally emulates the Switch 2 emulates Switch 1 games, so there's emulation there. The Switch 2 literally has emulation for all their old consoles, which are there now, GameCube as well. So you have emulation, and even then the emulation is so bad on the Switch and Switch 2 that they had to fix it multiple times because they couldn't get it right. MVG did a bunch of videos on that. Okay.
Applications and things. But for people like me, where, you know, I don't have a ton of time to game outside of what I have to do for...
Bro, you just fucking play the game. God damn it, B-Soms.
My streams, or what I have to do in my little free time. I'm taking care of my boy, with my wife, you know, household to hold down overall. And whenever I do, I want it as frictionless as possible. I don't...
This is just the Nintendo version of Reforged, chat.
Want to have to add more things in overall, and I want to have like that, I would say, that type of community in terms of the games, like the publisher that really puts out those unique experiences specifically for it.
This is just Reforged for Nintendo. Excuse me, chat.
And it just seems like there's just so much other stuff Steam Deck is just not for me. Like, I don't feel like tinkering with doing all that type of stuff, man. I just don't feel like doing it. I don't have as much time to play games and do all that. And I think that the Nintendo Switch with Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition has kind of showed me that. It's been showing me that all generation because I played my Switch way more. But with the Nintendo Switch 2 presentation and the games like Donkey...
I mean, I can just play Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition on my Steam Deck right now, too. He knows that, right?
Kong and Mario Kart and more that's coming out, and even seeing those really nice additions of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom that are coming as well just made me think, man, I don't really need this anymore. I will say, in terms of positive...
You didn't need it at all because you never wanted it. You just bought it to buy it.
Positive stuff, I think that value-wise, Steam Deck is so good from a value proposition-wise. I mean, we've seen the prices with Nintendo Switch 2, the game prices being $80 for Mario Kart World, being $70 for the Donkey Kong game as well, Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Wait. The Steam Deck has a better value. The Steam Deck has more games. The Steam Deck can do all these great things. I'm going to crash out. But they're not exclusive, so it doesn't count. Yeah, true. I just blacked out. Yeah, I don't know where I was. He's playing both sides. True.
Being higher priced if you want to buy the Nintendo Switch 2 cartridge versions of some of the Nintendo Switch 1 games coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 editions. There's definitely some high prices there. You can get deep discounts on Steam, and it's great for that. But like I said, man, the lack of actual physical, which of course Nintendo Switch 2 has the key card thing, which I still...
Saying the lack of actual physical when talking about PC gaming and not realizing that at least with Valve, you actually own that product. And if at some point something happens, you can just pirate the game is insane to me. You have more ownership on PC than you ever would with a physical cartridge. This is ridiculous.
I think is a better. I don't like it, by the way. I would like to have it all on the cartridge, but the key card system for a digital game is actually better than just a straight up digital game, in my opinion.
Okay, let's hear what he has to say.
Because that digital game can be sold. That key card, you need it to unlock the game, so that can be.
No, you can't because it's tied to your account. That's not how that works. You're not going to be able to sell a digital code when that key card is used. That's not how that works. You can't sell that. That's not how that works.
Sold, it can be traded, borrowed, whatever the case is. So I do think that's better than what.
No, you can trade it because of the virtual card system.
This guy has to be
Thank you, Hyrix.
I've rarely seen a gaslight victim that far beyond recovery.
It's crazy, Dave. Let him find out. Yeah, for real.
What the solution was on the Nintendo Switch 1 was a digital code, one-time code, and a
Alex
box.
Chat, I'm in low.
I bet you are, Eggy.
It gives you a little bit more ownership of that digital
You don't
game.
have
It
any
almost
ownership.
Kind of mimics a physical game overall.
We're keeping it.
But if you're looking at the value of the Steam Deck, the value of the Steam Deck is so nice and it's really good. So I can't sit here and say that it doesn't have that. And yeah,
hey,
that's
Alex,
something that
let's scissor our bussy raw dog.
That's right, Nate Dogg. Thank you for the 2.
I hope Nintendo would improve with the value of some of their stuff overall in terms of the prices or sales or discounts or voucher system. Steam Deck's going to always have that on lock. Steam's going to always have that on lock. So I can't sit there and say that it wasn't cool to see that. But ultimately, with Steam Deck, I just ended up buying a bunch of games that I never play. Or, you know, like with Steam, just in general, you just buy a bunch of stuff and I never play any of them. Like, I just say, oh, wow, look at all these deals. And then I don't have the time. I mean, there's only 24 hours in a day. You got to sleep for maybe 5-6 hours, maybe a bit more.
But you're going to buy the Switch 2 and buy all their games at $90 or $80?
Or for some of you guys, you got to edit and work. For me, I got to edit and I got to stream and I've got to be a dad and I've got to do a bunch of other things. So it leaves just so few time to even play all of these games that you get on deep discounts on Steam. So usually now, whenever I play a game on my free time, it's really something that I want to play, and I'm playing that game. And I have a backlog the size of Africa. So I mean, like, it's one of those things, man, that I really just need to get on that backlog too. But so many good games just keep coming up that I want to try. But
so stop
anyway,
buying them.
That's enough of me yapping for so long at this point. If you enjoyed the yapping,
no, I did not.
No, Alex, not even Steam, because Steam tells people that you do not own games on Steam. If anything, GOG is the superior way to own games. So the Steam argument falls apart because of GOG.
Yeah, but GOG is the same thing as well. They're just pirated copies from people making fucking community patches. Selling your Steam Deck for Switch 2 is crazy work. I'm keeping my deck. Not sure if any other publication has confirmed this, but one hands-on section saw that they started playing Mario Kart 8 on mode, 120 FPS game from Nintendo. Is your money OJ and your Steam Deck OLED? Your device decision. Don't let others tell you what to do. I know, fucking Retromania.
Cody Lee would love to debate and turn Reforge into a used sock.